Today, we are diving deep into the Caodai faith, a place where the building blocks of the entire universe, and I mean all of it, had this incredible mirror in the spiritual path of a single person. We're going to look at the cosmic three treasures, known as Tam Bảo, and see how they connect the personal three refuges of a follower, the Tam Quy. All right, let's jump right in. So let's start with a really big question. If you had to name the three most precious, most essential things in all of existence, what would they be? It's a huge thing to think about, right? Well, the Caodai faith has this beautifully structured answer. It's almost like a blueprint for reality itself. And that brings us to our first big idea. In Caodai, the universe isn't just some random jumble of stuff. Nope, it's built on three fundamental treasures that are the very foundation for everything, from the stars way up there, all the way down to you and me. This whole concept is called Tam Bảo, which literally means three treasures. And what it does is it points out the most essential elements within three totally distinct realms: heaven, earth, and humanity. You could almost think of it as the cosmic operating system that runs, well, everything. And here is where the structure gets so elegant. Just look at the symmetry here across these three levels. Heaven has its treasures, the sun, moon, and stars. Earth has its own set, water, fire, and wind. And then, mirroring both of them, humanity has its essence, its vital breath, and its spirit. This whole structure is pointing to this deep, profound harmony that connects every single part of the universe. Okay, so what do these treasures actually do? Let's break down each level. We're going to start at that massive cosmic scale and then bring it all the way down to us, to the individual. So up in the realm of heaven, you've got the sun, Nut, which is the raw engine of creation. It provides all that energy and light. Then you have the moon, Wet, which balances everything out, creating harmony. And finally, the stars, Ting, which are the actual physical foundations, like our own planet, where life can start to grow. Together, they create the very rhythm of the cosmos. Now let's bring it down here to Earth. The treasures are water, fire, and wind. Water, or Thui, is the medium for all life to exist. Fire, or Hua, gives us warmth and lets us transform our food. And wind, Feng, well, that's the very air we breathe. These things have to work together perfectly to make our planet habitable so that nature can thrive. And this brings us right down to the final level, us, humanity. Our three treasures are incredibly personal. Our essence, or Tin, that's our physical body, our vital breath, Qi, is the life force that animates that body. And our spirit, Thun, is our soul, our consciousness. And it's by nurturing these three treasures that a person can even begin to think about a spiritual journey. Okay, so this leads us to a really crucial question. If the whole universe is built on this elegant, perfect blueprint of treasures, how does an individual person actually connect with it? How do you take this grand cosmic philosophy and turn it into a deeply personal path of faith? Well, the answer to that question is where our second key concept for today comes in. This is the practical side of things. It's the application of that huge cosmic map, and it lays out the specific commitments a follower makes. This path is called Tam Quy, or the three refuges. And you have to catch this key distinction. While Tam Bảo are the treasures of existence itself, Tam Quy are the treasures of faith. It's an active choice. Taking refuge means you are consciously returning to and relying on a totally different set of three treasures: the teacher, the teachings, and the community. And this isn't just some vague belief. It is an active, structured commitment. The path is built on these three solid pillars of refuge. First, in Phật, the teacher. Second, in Pháp, the teachings. And finally, in Dung, the community. It's a complete framework for how to live a spiritual life. So, let's dig in a little deeper and see what each of these three refuges really means for a follower on their own spiritual journey. The very first refuge, Quy y Phật, is all about placing absolute, unwavering faith in the teacher, who is known as Thầy. In Caodai, Thầy is the supreme being, the creator of the whole universe and the ultimate source of salvation. This is the bedrock of the entire faith. It's a total and complete trust in the divine guide. And you don't just have to take my word for it.
There's a direct teaching from Thầy that makes this relationship crystal clear. It basically says that the teacher is the master of the other two refuges, the teachings and the community, and that he established them for one reason, to help all followers return to a state of unity with him.
Next up is the second refuge, Quy y Pháp, which is about embracing the teachings. You can think of this as the how-to part of the path. It means you're following the faith's doctrines, its laws, its daily practices, things like prayers and moral rules. This is the structure that guides your actions and helps you deepen your understanding. And finally, there's Quy Tăng, taking refuge in the community. This means relying on the church, its leaders, and all your fellow believers for guidance, for support, for encouragement. It's a recognition that this spiritual path, it isn't something you do alone. It's a journey you take together. All right, so now we can tie it all together. We've seen the cosmic building blocks of everything, and we've seen the personal path of commitment. So let's put them side by side to really see how they perfectly mirror each other. The distinction is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly profound. On one hand, you have Tam Bảo, the universal treasures that are the foundation of all existence. And on the other, you have Tam Quy, the spiritual treasures that are the foundation of a follower's path. One is the map of reality, the other is the guide for the journey. So, to boil it all down, Tam Bảo, those are the universal building blocks, giving structure to heaven, earth, and humanity. They're the foundation for all life. And Tam Quy, that's the personal path of faith, giving you a clear framework for your belief through a teacher, a set of teachings, and a community to support you. And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. It's really fascinating how a philosophy can connect these huge impersonal forces of the universe directly to a structured, deeply personal journey of faith. It kind of suggests that understanding the cosmos and understanding ourselves might just be two sides of the very same coin. Thanks for digging into this with me.